Hi, my name is Sharon Amali. Welcome to my show. The topic today is a relationship or bread. A relationship or bread. The topic today is a relationship or bread, and it comes from the book of John, chapter 6, we shall read from verse 26 to 30, and it reads, Jesus answered them and said, Most assuredly I say to you, you seek me not because you saw the signs, but because you ate of the loaves and were filled. Do not labor for the food which perishes, but for the food which endures to everlasting life, which the Son of Man will give you, because God the Father has set his seal on him. Then they say to him, What shall we do that we may work the works of God? Now let's pause here. In this chapter, Jesus has just fed 5,000 men with fish and loaves of bread. So the next day, after this, they come looking for him. When they do not find him, they go searching for him. Let's start reading from verse 24. When the people therefore saw that Jesus was not there, nor his disciples, they also got into boats and came to Capernaum, seeking Jesus. And when they found him on the other side of the sea, they say to him, Rabbi, when did you come here? So these people are actually looking for Jesus, and finally they find him. They call him Rabbi, which is teacher. When did you come here? Listen to what Jesus says to them. Most assuredly I say to you, you seek me not because you saw the signs, but because you ate of the loaves and were filled. So Jesus is not flattered. Jesus is not deceived by what they're saying. They seem to come him because they want him, but Jesus is not deceived by that. He tells them, I know you're seeking me not because you want me, but because you ate of what I gave you, because you were filled, because I did a miracle for you. And then he tells them, do not labor for the food which perishes, but for the food which endures to everlasting life, which the Son of Man will give you, because the Father has set his seal on him. And now Jesus has just told them, I know you're seeking me for wrong motives. Then they say to him in 28, then they say to him, what shall we do that we may work the works of God? What shall we do that we may work the works of God? You know, this is typical of someone who has not been listening to what you just said. You just told them that, guys, you're looking for me, but you're looking for me for the wrong motives. Look for me for the right motives. And these guys reply, show us how to do cool tricks. Show us how to also pull off the miraculous. We also want to be famous. We want to show big things to the world. Help us, show us how to do this. And Jesus has just told them, guys, look for me, but for the right motives. And now, you know, these people here have just eaten bread. Of course, they saw that miracle, but now in verse 14, they had said after eating that bread that this is truly the prophet who is to come into the world. Now, one day later, they come to him saying, what sign will you perform then, that we may see it and believe you? Imagine. He fed them. They saw that bread multiply, the fish multiply, and everyone ate. And they went home saying, wow, this is the prophet who is to come. Now they are telling him that now, what sign will you perform that we may believe you? So you wonder, what were these guys, what did they mean when they say this is the prophet? And now again asking for more miracles just so that they believe. Okay, let's go on. What sign will you perform then that we may believe you? What work will you do? Our fathers ate the manna in the desert, as it's written, he gave them bread from heaven. to eat. You know, it looks like these guys had actually come to associate food with the miraculous. If there is no food, there is no miraculous going on. If there is no food, there is no relationship. If there is no cash, there is no relationship. If my answers haven't been answered, if my prayers haven't been answered, there is no relationship. This is what these guys are saying. Now, do for us another thing and then we can believe you. Do for us another thing and then we shall follow you. Do for us this and then this will happen and then we shall do this. So for them to serve him, they want Jesus to give them evidence so that they can believe. They're asking to, and they're asking to do the works of God. So Jesus replies, "This is the work of God, that you believe him whom he sent." This is the work of God, that you believe him whom God sent. This is the work of God, that you believe Jesus whom God has sent. That's what Jesus is saying. So Jesus is actually talking about a relationship. These guys come to Jesus seeking the miraculous. They seek bread. They want to also do what Jesus has done. They also want to be famous. They also want to be known, they want their prayers answered. They just want evidence. But now Jesus instead tells them that what you really need is a relationship. These guys are all about, give me something that makes me feel good, and then I will believe. First show us, and then we will do what you're saying. First give me the miracle, and then I will follow you. But then Jesus tells them that what you need is that relationship with me. So today, the question is, when you come to God, what is the most important thing to you? Is it the relationship with Jesus, or is it just that prayer request, having that prayer request answered? Is it having that miracle, or is Jesus more important? When you come to him for healing, is the healing more important, such that when you have been healed, now you can walk off and say, "Oh, thank you, Jesus. Now I can do my own things. I can just go and do my other stuff." Or will you still stay and say, "Lord, I want you. A relationship with you is what I am seeking. What I need is just you, Lord." So today I leave you with this. Is it just bread for you, or is it a relationship?